everyone, and welcome to the Better Together as One podcast. My name's Margaret Wallis Duffy, and I'm always thrilled to be next to my two amazing co-hosts, Mr. Todd Miller and Claire Gavin. How are you guys?
Amazing. Thank you.
How you doing, Todd?
Doing really well. I'm
Good.
glad to be here as always with another exciting guest and topic.
You know what? That is for sure today. I gotta tell you, I am super excited and beyond pumped. You know, I truly believe in life. When you follow your passion and purpose, you lean in, and I like to say, live where the butterflies are. And sometimes just ask the question. You sometimes get the answer you want. And that's about the guest today, because Claire, you and I have been following this incredible woman, and you reached out to her. So I'm going to leave it in your capable hands to tell the story about our guest today, why you reached out. And actually, before we do, I guess I should probably give a little bit of her credits, because
I was just going to say,
oh my gosh,
I'm so excited that she's here.
The fact that she's on our Better Together as One podcast. Susie Moore is a life coach. She is a contributor to an advice columnist to some of the biggest media platforms. She's been featured in things like Oprah.com, The Huffington Post, Marie Claire, Entrepreneur. Can we go on? And she decided out of her busy schedule that she would come and share her brilliance on our Better Together as One podcast, and we couldn't be any more honored and excited. So welcome, Susie.
Thank you. I'm so delighted to be here. And Claire, thank you so much for reaching out.
Well, thank you. So just before we sort of kick off and get into all the juiciness of all the things, I got this gorgeous book right here, Stop Checking Your Likes, and was super excited about it. And as a life coach myself, I read many, many books, and I was really excited to read this book. And as I got into it, as I often do, I put it on my story on Instagram, and I tagged Susie, not thinking anything of it. And I literally put my book down for 5 minutes, and I think I went to the washroom, and I came back, and she sent me a voice message on my Instagram DMs, and I was freaking out. And so I was like, oh my God, nobody was here. I was all alone, and it was early in the morning, and she did this, so I was crazy. So I'm like, so I started messaging you back, and I thought, I'm going to ask her if she'll come on our show. And she just said, yeah, let's do it. And then from here she is. So incredibly excited, Susie. Thank you for coming on. So let's dive in. This beautiful book of yours, Stop Checking Your Likes, I believe is your first book. Is that correct?
Second book, yeah.
Your second book.
Mm-hmm.
What I love about the beginning of this book that you say is that it's not a self-help book, but it's a sanity book leading you back to who you truly are, which I really love. So sort of give us, your journey in all of this, from where you came from to sort of, where you are today, because I just love it.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, in terms of my career background, my background is corporate. I worked in tech. I sold programmatic video software, very sexy, right? The tech world and video. And I always knew I wanted to work for myself. I always knew it, the work that I was doing was good. It was fine. And I was grateful, to have a good job. But at the end of it all, I just thought, this isn't, my life's work, and I won't be satisfied if as the years pass, because the years pass, whether you follow your passion or not, will I be proud of this? Like, will this be enough? And I just knew I wanted to coach, and I started growing my business by getting into the media. I thought, gosh, that'd be really fun, like fun and easy. And I think that we can allow more things to be easy than we think. I think we love to complicate things as humans. And so I just kind of really believe in going for it, kind of like you, Claire, just like reaching out is just something that I do. I think it's a great virtue not to overthink things. And I've been able to, I think, create the business that I've wanted my way. So not following, I guess, what some people do. I don't even have any accreditations. I'm very, very open about this, because I think sometimes too, we can get stuck into the procrastinator trap, and we can hold back thinking we need more and more and more, when we simply don't. Everything that we have is within us. We just kind of need the courage to take the action, which is what my book is about, essentially.
Susie, I love that. And when you talk about wanting more out of life and just going for it, I really resonate with your story, because almost 20 years ago, as a clinic owner, a therapist, I had never done radio or television. I had no clue how to even begin that, but I needed people to come in the door. I needed people to know about me. And I loved to educate people on how to live a healthy, holistic life. So I, back before computers, faxed for every day for a year, a nationwide show here in Canada called City Line. And I think after about a year, they finally decided this woman's nuts. She's not giving up. We're going to have her on the show. And we taped originally, and then I finally did live television. And I really would love for you to speak to leaning into that fear and feeling of being uncomfortable. I think so many of us shy away from being uncomfortable and won't do it. I had to be so uncomfortable and out of my element, but the payoff is tremendous. The learning is incredible. Can you speak a little bit to that and the importance of it?
Oh yes, absolutely. I love talking about this. The way that I actually define confidence is very simple. I think sometimes we get it wrong. We think the confident people are the ones who are just always winning, getting it right. They have to be very charismatic or whatever it may be. But confidence is simply the willingness to experience negative emotion. And when you think about it, yeah, uncomfortable. That's how it feels, right? It's like, oh my gosh, am I ready? What's the response going to be? But a confident person is simply willing to be shut down, rejected, criticized, humiliated, like whatever we fear so much, because as human beings, we will do anything to avoid pain, right? We will just like hide, stay small, keep our life really contained. And when you really think about it, to be a more confident person, it's just the decision to be willing to be uncomfortable a little bit more. That's it. Because, when you think about it too, all emotions are temporary, right? So the worst thing that can happen to you is a feeling if you're willing to kind of go for it. So someone can say no or reject you or ignore you, like big deal. But like you said, the payoff, Margaret, I mean, who knows? Like who knows how far you can go? Only you once you start rolling. And it's pretty fascinating. I think that the good news is for those of us who are willing to go for it, it's not that crowded. Like so much isn't that crowded because most people give up really soon or they only try a couple of things, but the future belongs to no one. And if you're willing to go for it, like in coaching, we speak about the confidence competence loop a lot, meaning, if you're confident, you'll take more action, then you become naturally more competent, which then leads to more confidence. And it's just this gorgeous cycle. So that's just that's the cycle that I'm going to live. I mean, it's up to us, right? So why not choose something that's really going to work for you?
Oh, you know what? I love that. We are just at the tip of the iceberg here with you, Susie. We're going to need to take a really quick break, but we will be back in just a moment because we got to dive in deeper with not just Susie's story and her book, but her philosophy, which is just so inspiring. We'll be right back.